Greetings to all my loved ones. Welcome back to another episode of Healing Wisdom with me, your favorite spiritual advisor, Empress Oracle. On behalf of Starseed Galactic Federation, I have been given access to this knowledgeable information from my Akashic records for the purpose of helping humanity. This information is given directly to me as a divine channel, and any use or reproduction of this information without proper accreditation or acknowledgement from where this information was received will result in instant karma for the plagiarizing parties or individuals. And so it is. Now, today I didn't really take much notes, so we can slide that to the side because I really want to talk to you guys. I'm sure you saw the topic. I want to talk to you guys about how I learned to love myself, because what I'm seeing, nowadays is that a lot of people, I can't even just say a specific sex, a lot of just people in general are having an issue with receiving the proper love that they deserve. And now it's becoming blaringly obvious. And the reason why is because they're not loving themselves properly, or they're not loving themselves enough. And take it from me, from somebody who has been through that before, I can tell you that the journey of self-love is a constant journey. It's a constant journey of evolution, evolvement, learning, ego deaths. It's a lot of things that go on, all right? A lot of times you have to learn to swallow your pride and your ego and face the truth about yourself and accept yourself for truly who you are, because everybody is not born into families that are loving or express love. Everybody's not born into families where their love language may, be words of affirmation or bodily touch and things like that. So a lot of times it's difficult for people to be able to relate to the people around them. And a lot of people, if they're not getting love or if it's not being expressed to them, then it makes them falter with how they feel about themselves. And that's why it's very, very important for you to spend time alone with yourself. Me, I spent a lot of time alone when I was a child. I spent a lot of time with myself. I grew up, I had a large family, so there was always people around me, but I was always alone. And that's something a lot of star seeds especially can relate to, because when you're born and you come to this world, you feel as though you don't belong here. I know a lot of people who are here are in this world but are not of it. And that saying is so very true, because you feel that way for a reason, right? We are having a human experience, and a part of that human experience is learning self-love. But a lot of people struggle with that, and that in turn leads into other situations to their detriment, right? It's deep. It's deep. Still waters run deep. So when I was younger, I always felt different than everybody else. I was always different than everybody else around me. From a child, I knew that I was different. And because I knew that I was different, it kind of was hard for me to really relate to other people around me the way, on the level that, they could understand, or I wouldn't seem too deep or too weird even as a child. And a lot of times I just kept to myself. I kept my thoughts to myself, my feelings to myself, which is not normal to do, and it's not healthy to do either, because that leads to depression. I was very depressed when I was a child, but I found ways to express that. And through the ways that I found to express myself, I found ways to express myself and the things that I was feeling through creative endeavors, through like trying on makeup and shit, messing with my hair and doing things that I poured the love into the things that I was doing that I wished that I could receive from others in return, basically. Instead of becoming hard and cold and feeling a kind of way because I didn't fit in with people, or I didn't feel that love per se from people, instead of that, I just imagined the kind of love that I wanted to receive. You know what I mean? I almost made it tangible. And I almost made it tangible. Basically, I almost made it tangible in my mind. I visualized it. I imagined what it would be like, what elements I would put together to, how that would feel. And I poured that into my creative endeavors, which in turn poured back into me. Because with that love that I felt that I wanted, I put it into those things. And in turn, it gave me that feeling of love in return, right? And I knew that I was the one that created those things. And then you have to tell yourself, okay, if I'm able to create such beautiful things from a place of love, then I know that I am worthy of love. I am lovable. I love myself, right? Something that's not worthy of love or is ugly or anything is not going to be able to create beauty, right? From pain comes beauty. Sometimes triggering things have to happen in life. Sometimes certain situations of isolation or whatever have to happen in life for you to come in touch with yourself and tap into that self-love, right? Because if you keep looking for it in others, in other places, you're always going to be hurt. You're always going to get let down. You're always going to get your feelings hurt. Because what you have to realize is that people cannot love you on a level that they cannot love themselves. So you may want a certain level of love from somebody who is not capable to give it to you because they don't even have that for themselves. It's foreign to them. Although you may have made it up in your mind, you've made it tangible to you because you believe so strongly in it. You've put your energy into it because you are made of it. You expect that from somebody else in return, and their ceiling, their threshold may be lower than yours. It may not be the same. The energy may be different. You might not be as receptive to the way that they show it. That's why it's so important for you to realize that true love comes from love of self. It comes from within. Once you learn the truth, once you look at yourself with a fresh new pair of eyes and realize, I am everything that I want to be already, okay? It is virtually impossible for you to imagine something that cannot come into reality, because then it would be no thought. Okay, so all those good feelings of love, that's what you are. Once you realize that and you stop trying to fight it, because society may have made you feel like love has to look a certain way or feel a certain way or be received a certain way, why you don't want to agree with that. No, once you put all that shit to the side and you start accepting everything, it's gonna flow. You're going to grow. You're going to get stronger. Your vibration is going to get stronger. Your confidence is going to get stronger. And when you're around people who may not feel the same way, your confidence may come off as cockiness. They may take it the wrong way. But people who love themselves and have learned how to grow their love from the inside out, they'll understand. They'll understand. Loving yourself is very important because regardless, you don't have to open your mouth and verbally tell somebody, hey, I don't love myself, so, you could treat me like shit if you want to. You don't have to tell them that. Actions speak louder than words, and energy, it don't lie. You don't have to say a word. Energy does not lie. No matter what facade you try to put on for others, in your quest of love outside of yourself, they're going to feel your fucking vibe. And if that vibe is not right, they're going to shit on you, for lack of better words, right? And then you're going to be wondering why, but it's because you didn't take that time to develop your own self-love. And that's something that I realized after I got my heart broken a few times when I was younger. After I realized that I was not going to get the kind of love that I felt like I required at that time from others. And I realized that I had to go within myself to find that shit. Because I refused to live a life with no love at all. Life without love is like not living at all. Who wants to do that? Why are you here then? And that's a challenge. That's a test for a lot of us. And it's a test that so many people fail. And I'm so tired of seeing everybody fail this test. True love comes from within. Now, once you master that on different levels, as you go different levels and master different levels of self-love, different people will come into your life and they will be able to reciprocate to those levels. Some people you'll be able to grow with and some people you will not, but you will have learned something from that can help you in your next step of love. And the more you open your heart to loving, no matter what it is, you can love anything that you want if you don't want to love somebody else. If you're scared to love somebody else, that's fine, because one, you're supposed to be loving yourself first. But then two, after you love yourself, you're supposed to love the things that you create. You're supposed to create from love. And that right there is going to manifest more and make more multiply, and it's going to attract towards you the things that you truly desire. So you're not going to have to put forth effort too hard and chase things that are not for you. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? If you don't see what I'm saying, just play it back and then you'll see what I'm saying. That's something that everybody needs to understand. So I just had to take, you know what I'm saying, what I like to call a training time out. I had to take a training time out and sit with myself. And I genuinely, whenever I would get my feelings hurt, my heart broken, or I would get poured into somebody, and I'm not just talking about in like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I'm talking about in friendships, in jobs, where I felt like I gave too much and I didn't receive enough in return. I had to pull back and, you know, evaluate the whole situation. Sometimes you have to step outside of yourself and just be like, damn, I believe. You know what I mean? But sometimes you just have to look and you just have to be like, is it me? What am I doing wrong? Am I looking for something in somebody or something else that I should be looking for in myself? Did I miss my lips, y'all? I'm good? Okay, cool. Thanks. But yeah. And that's something that's very hard for people to do, because if you pay attention, people do not like being alone. And that is the catch-all right there. If you are afraid to be alone, you will never truly know yourself. You will never truly love yourself, right? You'll always be looking for love in all the wrong places. When you are alone, the things that you do when you are alone, those are vital and critical to improving your self-love. You should be doing things, right, to enhance yourself. If you don't know what to do, you need to figure it out. Ask yourself, what am I good at? What are my hobbies? What are my talents? If somebody was to ask you that, what would you say to them? If you don't have anything to say, it's a problem, right? But the more that you look into those things and cultivate those things, the more that self-love will grow, that self-pride will grow, that self-confidence will grow. You'll feel good in yourself. Your energy will change. Your vibration will raise. That self-love will raise. And you'd be like a love magnet. And then you won't be crying at night. Just saying. And this goes for everybody. There's going to be so many times when you're going to have to step back, because there's been so many times when I've loved myself, but I still had to take a step back because I wasn't loving myself enough, or I was loving somebody else more. And it's one thing I'm going to tell you, and I don't care what anybody else says to you. You never love anybody more than you love yourself. Okay? You have to put you first. Because just like when you're flying on just like when you're flying on a plane and the plane starts to go down and they say you put on your oxygen mask first before you help the person next to you. Because you can't assist anybody if you are dead. Right? You can't love somebody if you don't love yourself. Right? You cannot love somebody more than you love yourself. That shit just don't add up. It's not, the math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. It's not. It's not. So there's been times when I've been so in love, so dick whipped or whatever, where I've put more into that person, right? Because I wanted them to see how bad I loved them, how much I wanted them, that I poured everything into them so much that overwhelming amount of energy scared them away. And that's something that I had to learn. That's times I had to step back and be like, damn, why was I, you know what I'm saying, putting so much into this person, essentially energetically chasing this person? Why? What was that? Why was I looking for this person to love me so much? What do I feel is wrong with me right now at this time? What do I need to fix? Am I lonely? Am I this? Am I that? Am I insecure? What is it? And sometimes you just have to be real with yourself. If you can't be real with yourself, ain't nobody gonna be real with you. I'm telling you right there, period. Right? So you gotta ask yourself those harsh, true questions, and you gotta sit your ass down and get yourself together before you go back out into the dating pool. Because nowadays, the dating pool is not a pool, it's an ocean, and there's sharks out in that bitch. You gotta be careful. You got to be careful. Just saying. Just saying. But while you're learning to love yourselves the way you're supposed to, right? You're going to have to ground yourself. You're going to have to stay balanced. You're going to have clarity, spiritual protection, and peace of mind. And in order to have all of those, crystals are going to help you on that path. Those crystals for your journey are on my website on Etsy, Empress Oracle Shop. There you'll be able to find crystals like rose quartz to help enhance your self-love, tiger's eye to protect you, especially during times of spiritual warfare where you're battling with yourself and those little lust demons that you got on you. Black obsidian to protect that energy. Everything you need on Etsy at Empress Oracle Shop. You guys check me out. And don't forget what I said. Sometimes you gotta take some time out and work on your own self before you can have somebody else give you the love that you feel as though you deserve. So take care, and I love you all.